Welcome back to the Huddle. This is the coach, and we're bringing football knowledge to everybody who wants to learn. You're watching a game, and you tell your family there's only 2 minutes left, and then 25 minutes later, you're still watching the football game. So let's kind of talk about the football clock, the game clock, and the play clock, and why games can go on for so long towards the end. First, we're going to talk about the game clock. Okay, the game clock's going to be the big one that we always see. All right, typically going to start up there with a 15-minute timer. The game clock tracks each quarter. Remember, there's 4 quarters in football. Each quarter should be 15 minutes long, depending on what level of football you're watching. The play clock continues to go down unless the clock is stopped by a various number of reasons throughout the football game. Then you're going to see a smaller clock. Okay, this smaller clock's going to start at 40, and it's going to continue to tick down to 0. That's a play clock. Every time the ball is set, the play clock is going to start. The offense must snap the ball before the 40 seconds run out, or it's going to be a penalty called the delay of game. We talked about pre-snap penalties in our other video. Delay a game would also be a pre-snap penalty. The offense has to snap the ball before the time runs out to keep football games from lasting 8 hours long. Okay, so let's talk about the game clock and why the clock continues to run, why the clock stops, what can change that, why would a coach want it to stop, why would the coach want it to run. Okay, so as we start to talk about the play clock, we need to draw up us a little bit of a football field here. So I'm just going to draw a quick rectangle for us and understand on our football field, we got the sidelines. Remember, the sidelines are going to be out of bounds. It's a pretty bad rectangle, but that's all right. So as we draw this rectangle, we understand that this is going to be our football field. Here, let's make this bigger so everybody can see. This is our football field here, and we know that the sidelines are going to be out of bounds. Well, if the ball carrier runs out of bounds, the clock's going to stop. So if I'm the ball carrier right here and I run and I end up getting pushed out of bounds on the sideline, they're going to stop the clock. Now, if I run the ball and I'm running this way and I get tackled right there, well, the ball is down inside the bounds. The clock's going to continue to run. So if the clock keeps running, that's bleeding the clock. So if I'm the offense and I'm in the lead, so I'm winning the football game and I have possession of the football, I'm going to try to bleed the clock as long as I can. So I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to try to stay in bounds. I'm going to try to get tackled in bounds so the clock continues to run. So let's go to the inverse of that. If I'm the defense and the offense is trying to bleed the clock or run the clock, how can I stop them? 1, I try to get them to tackle out of bounds. Or 2, I have to use one of my timeouts. You'll see up on the scoreboard, there's usually 3 tick marks. Those are going to be our timeouts. Understand that the head coach gets 3 timeouts per half. Sometimes coaches carry them into halftime, sometimes they don't. Clock management is very important in winning football games. So if the offense has the lead, they're trying to bleed the clock towards the end of the game, we would call that scenario a 4-minute scenario. So when an offense is in 4-minute mode, they're trying to, number 1, bleed the clock and keep the lead. So don't mess up. So in the past, we talked about risky things to do on 3rd and short, like throwing the football on 3rd and 1. Well, in 4-minute mode, if I'm the offense, I want to hand that ball off, because another way to stop the clock is if I throw the football and it's incomplete, the clock stops automatically. So as offensive coordinators, play callers, we want to bleed the clock in 4-minute load because we're up right now and it's 14-10. We're winning the football game, so we got to bleed the clock and make sure that the defense doesn't get the ball back to their offense. Now let's flip that scenario. I'm the offense and I'm down. Okay, we got the ball back, so we're going to flip this. The offense has the football, but they're down 3. They're down 3, so it's 10-7. 13. And I'm the offense right here with 10 points. I'm trying to get the ball down the field as fast as possible, and I want the clock to stop. Well, how do we stop the clock? We just talked about it. If I throw incompletions, which isn't what we're trying to do because we're trying to move the football, or I go out of bounds, right? So if it's a situation where I'm trying to score fast and there's not a lot of time left, we call that 2 minute. So the opposite of 4 minute is 2 minute. 2 minute offense is trying to score fast, right? So if I'm trying to score fast and preserve time, I want the clock to stop by going out of bounds. Well, if I get tackled inbounds by the defense like we did in this scenario I just circled, remember, what way can the coach stop the clock? He can call a timeout. So now you understand why 2 minute, 4 minute clock management, timeouts, going out of bounds to stop the clock, incompletions. Why are these things so important, and why does that last 2 minutes last so long? The coaches are doing their best job to manage the game and the clock to make sure their team has an opportunity to win based on the scenario that they're in. If I'm up and I have possession of the football, we call that what? We call that 4 minute. I'm trying to hold the ball, run it, bleed the clock. If I'm down and I need to score fast, we call that 2 minute. I'm trying to go out of bounds to get the clock to stop. Every time I get a first down, the clock will stop until the chains are set, and then that thing's going to start rolling. So understand clock management, game management at the end of the game. This is big time. It's like a chess match between coaches as long as the players are executing the vision. Offenses, defenses, they practice 2 minute and 4 minute every week, so they are really good for this opportunity that might only happen once in a season. So now you know next time when you're watching the game why each coordinator is trying to do each thing to manage the clock. Like always, this is the Huddle. I'm the coach, and we're trying to bring football knowledge to everybody. I appreciate you. If you got any questions, drop them in the comment section below.